What's up, everybody? This is your boy D. Welcome back to another episode of The Triangle.
And it's your girl, CJ.
Have you guys ever thought about if octopus flock together? Like, are they octopussies?
Shut up.
Octopi. Like, what do you call a flock of octopuses? And do they all go together? Like, do they go together? Like, you ain't never seen a whole shitload of octopuses.
I mean, I guess
I think they ride solo.
Yeah, they ride solo. They're like lone wolves of the ocean. Like,
but if you saw a group, do you say, "Damn, that was a lot of octopuses"?
No, it's octopi, isn't it?
Octopies. I'm going with octopussy. That sounds better.
You know what? I don't know who you are no more.
Octopussy.
You don't know who I am. I'll tell you who I am. I'm Brandy, podcast people.
Anywho, welcome back, y'all. So today, since it's November, Miss Brandy here.
No, not November.
No, not
no shave November.
Wait a minute. All of that? Good Lord. No. So Miss Brandy had gave us some awesome outlines for the next couple of weeks and on out. We're going to talk about some food things, I guess, and health things, because I know it's the holidays. People tend to get crazy with the food. I see all the memes already. People are mad we're skipping over to Christmas and when everybody's like, we just want food. We just want to talk about the food for Thanksgiving.
We just want the mac and cheese.
Just the mac and cheese, the fucking casseroles.
Without all that extra shit that some people put in it. Don't you dare.
If I see another fucking video, like, what's his face? Kev on stage be putting out them videos. He be finding all the mac and cheeses.
So fucking funny.
You're like, who?
And they really be like putting this shit together and
blueberries.
Being like,
last one I saw, they put blueberries in there.
Blueberries?
Blueberries, and then the one before that was candy corn. I said, who in the motherfucking
big tripping? I was mad at the pumpkin seed.
Pumpkin
seeds? What?
Pumpkin seeds.
They're just determined to fuck up everything good.
Listen, you want to put some meat in it, like some brisket meat. You want some smoked sausage in it. I'm cool with it. Like,
okay, I can see.
You know what I'm saying?
I can see that, but even then, I could just have that shit on the side. Like, I just want my mac and cheese to be mac and cheese.
Because I make like a mac and cheese casserole for dinner, like so they could just eat that, and it has like smoked sausage and like spinach leaves on top, and that like. It's all
you wildin'.
It's really good. Like, it's good. The spinach leaves are in there just for like an accent situation.
He heard spinach leaves and said no.
No, you can't taste them. That's why it's in there. It's not like the Brussels sprouts that they be putting in.
He not buying it.
No, for real. The spinach leaves are cool because they don't taste like spinach leaves.
Listen to her trying to spell the spinach leaves. Go ahead.
You know what? You just leave me alone. That's for the kids. The kids can get their vitamins in. Anywho.
We don't talk about vitamins. We want high cholesterol, bitch.
You go on fucking it up.
We gotta. That's because we gotta eat healthier. Like, because you know. Cause for real, like the holidays is coming, and I don't know about y'all. I used to gain like 5 or 6 pounds every holiday, and that was like a no-go for me. And I had to like change the way I consume alcohol and foods during the holidays.
Maybe it's the alcohol, because I'm like, I didn't know how prevalent and how delicious alcohol was up here in Ohio, and I realized when they did a survey about like what regions drink the most beer and alcohol, practically any place where you're in the middle of nowhere and snowed in, you're drinking the fuck out of shit.
Nebraska.
So it was like from Omaha out to this way to Pittsburgh, and I was like, damn, all the places I've lived, they're just
you are so correct. Let me tell you.
And I'm like, you're right.
It's the same. It's the same in Okinawa. I told you, like Okinawa, smallest prefecture in Japan. Nothing to do on that tiny ass island, y'all. If you don't know, Okinawa is 16 miles wide and 57 miles long. What the fuck do you do on there? It's hot as fuck. You don't want to go in you either go to school or go to work, and then you get off, and then you go to the seawall to drink, to chill with your friends.
You go to Dragon.
That's all I do.
Every day that's all I did. So like, I mean, and then I moved to Lincoln too, like you were saying, in Nebraska. I learned so much more new shit in Nebraska.
Oh yeah.
About drinking. They put me on to drinking like Jameson, like white boy shit.
Like why nobody drinks like the white people. The white
Nobody drinks like the white
guys.
people.
Put me on.
They put my ass on to Jaeger when I went to college in Wisconsin.
Yeah,
they had me drinking Jaeger bombs. I was like, what the fuck is with fucking energy drink? I was smashing the motherfuckers though. I was
Jaeger bombs, Vegas bombs.
They'll be like, "Oh, do you like fire bombs? Like, what's that?"
Well, here you go. What's the other? Oh, the Irish car bomb. I learned that there.
Oh, you taught me that.
Yep. It was a lot. It was a lot. I didn't.
It was a lot. And then what makes it so great? They'll be drinking this shit like it's Dasani. And they'll be like, try it. And you're like,
But you know what? Like if you it's true what they say. If you hang out with the same people, you become one of them. By the time I was ready to leave, I'd go and order a pitcher of beer for myself, but the bar would force you to get 2 cups because they can't legally give you just a pitcher and a glass. I was like, all I need is this pitcher and this straw. Like they're like, no, ma'am, I can't do
like going with friends to like beer fest and bourbon festivals. I'm like, I have really become this person.
And now I'm like, ooh, look at this distillery. Let's go.
Yeah, right. Or you're like, oh, these IPAs or this stout, this mead.
Love me some IPA.
I'm like, but you know what's helped me out since we're staying on the topic of health?
What?
When I started, if you're following me, you've probably noticed my body. I've been trying to get my life together.
You better.
Yeah, I better. Y'all wait till y'all see me. I'm telling you, a bitch is to be naked all 2020.
Oh my God, I can't wait. Can't wait for all the hate mail.
Can't wait for all the hate mail. Put some clothes on. Aren't you a mom? Fuck you, Susan. I look great. Anyway. Look, I'm trying to get my son a new daddy, okay? I got to be out.
I think it's great. I think it's cool.
It is cool. And what's helped me out a lot, since I don't watch what I eat as much as I should, I really cut back on my beer intake because I can drink some beer. Yeah. And I'm like, well, if I want something, let me just have some red wine since I prefer that anyway. And I drink red wine so rarely, it almost cut out alcohol. And then, you're just drinking water, staying away from juices. And I'm like, damn. It made a difference in bloating. So I know it's hard around the holidays, you guys, but if you are trying to watch it, definitely watching how it's true when they say you drink your calories. That shit is true.
Yeah.
You really do.
Like that's so true. And I quit drinking beer like that too, because that was one of the main reasons why you stay bloated. Like that beer gut thing is a real thing. It's a body type. I know people joke about it, but it's an actual medical body type where there's like 6 different kinds of guts that you can look up, and beer gut is one of them. It's like,
I believe it.
It's a thing. So like, and I switched over to liquor, and I actually do, if I want something to cut it with, it's either just like on crushed ice, water, because Asians drink like their liquor half with water, like so you don't lose anything in it, or sparkling water. Like with the
that's my shit. Yeah,
sparkling water with a couple drops of stevia, like that's it. You don't even need soda anymore. So you just keep it at that 2-ounce calorie for the liquor. Look at us teaching them how to get drunk.
I know. Look at us
on a budget calorie.
You guys how to drink right.
Calorie.
If you really want to get fancy with stuff, I like to muddle things. So I will muddle.
You always fancy as fuck.
I will muddle some. What I did recently is I muddled some jalapeno. So you take like one little slice of jalapeno, muddle it to try to kind of give like a warm feel to it. Some basil, and then some orange, like an orange wedge, muddle all that together.
But look at us like,
right, we're all like, that's a good winter drink.
Yep, with some tequila in it. It's really
keep you warm.
Yeah, I'm like, I feel warm inside already.
And I topped it off with some grapefruit juice. So just a little bit of grapefruit juice, so it's not killer sweet. Not
so
too
he's
many
gonna be
calories,
the bartender at your wedding, right? He gonna be
asking him to do stuff. Oh my God, it's gonna be terrible.
This is gonna be great.
I can't wait. But no, like, so yes, calories, like drinking calories is a huge thing. I think people don't realize how much they drink. Like all these people who go to Starbucks every damn day.
Listen.
And they're like, oh, I'm not getting like a frap. So it's those macchiatos, have like 4 pumps of like liquid sugar in it because that vanilla flavor, it's not vanilla that you cook with. When they say vanilla, they mean syrup, like sugar. Like that's all that is.
If anybody's seen those containers, because I've started paying attention with what I can see behind things now, and that's just because I'm nosy now that I've worked at the lounge and I can be in the kitchen. I'm into everything now, and it's like, you're right, just fucking syrup bottles.
It's
and
just
I'm
syrup.
Like, we're really getting our bodies so used to drinking this. And then I think you and I talked about it, CJ, and I saw it on one of these doctor shows before, where it becomes an addiction, especially to sugar, because I know I love my sugar. And it is hard to stop that shit. Like, you think leaving meat and alcohol alone is hard. No. Like, you almost like a crackhead when you're cutting sugar on purpose, or you're trying to give it up completely because your body is not having it. I started to get sick when I thought I could go back to certain things the same way I could with working out, and at least trying to half-ass watch what I ate, because I don't know if it was CJ or a coworker. I want to say CJ because she knows so fucking much.
Shut up.
But somebody was telling me when you work out, your stomach shrinks.
Yes.
I didn't know that because I'm a dumb bitch.
No.
And I was like, I thought I could eat the same way and drink the same way with as hard as I've been going in the gym. And I kept getting sick, shitting everything back out. Or like, it was bad. Like, as soon as you have something, it wasn't that regular smooth poop. It was like that. And then I'm like, what? All that shit in the bathroom. And I'm like, what is going on?
Well, it's not just that it shrinks either. Also, your metabolism changes. So the crap that you're eating metabolizes differently.
I can't.
It's just, that's what it happens. So like, on top of you eating better, even though you're eating better, you're eating the same amount of it. And your body's like, wait a minute, the fuck are you doing? You working out.
My body said, fuck you, B. Like, we're getting rid of this shit. So another word to the wise, because I just impulsively do stuff health-wise. There's really no rhyme or reason a lot of times, but I'll be consistent with my impulsiveness, if that makes any sense. So I was not paying attention to that. I didn't know. So I don't know what I'm going to do around this holiday season, because I want to go to the parties, and that'll fuck you up too. If you're trying to watch what you're eating. Oh, man. And be consistent, baby. This is the worst time of year between now and fucking what? Probably
what you need to do?
March.
You know what?
Because everybody invites you to everything. Everybody's bringing a casserole or a cake.
Just go watch a whole bunch of YouTube videos with cats' hair in the cat hair graded in it. Y'all know y'all seen that viral video. I know you.
Oh my God! It was like,
this is why Kev on stage talking about this is why I don't eat at everybody's house. Just go look at some videos. You won't want to eat nobody's food except for yours.
You really won't. But then you'll have those companies that are smart about it, like, oh, we're catering at this place, or because our place will do that. Like, oh, we're having it here. Like, I'm nervous about the lounge I work at, because I already know we get 50% off these expensive cocktails, and we're doing this whole Miracle on 4th Street theme, and oh yeah, it's going to be super cute. And I'm just like, I really have to watch that.
I think it's okay to indulge every once in a while. Like, I don't
know how to stop.
I think that, but here's the thing, like, if you go on this tirade, like, of not eating, you know, for a very long time, like a whole bunch, your body's automatically going to be like, yo, bitch, you're full. Like, don't.
And I hate it.
You big tripping, bitch. You big tripping.
I hate you, D. Be too much.
My stomach's like, bitch, you got me fucked up.
No, for real, because I was telling Rob one day, I was like, do you remember when we were younger and we did not give a shit about the world or your own body? And I could drink like 3 pitchers of beer, take 10 shots, and then finish half a pizza in the same night.
Same night.
And Rob was like,
and then wake up and you have like Pop-Tarts for breakfast. I can't even eat a fucking Pop-Tart.
Pop-Tarts with Gatorade and a Hot Pocket. Like,
yes, with Gatorade. I was drinking. Did you? And I know CJ knows this, but I'm gonna say it to her anyway, like she didn't. CJ, did you know that Gatorades just aren't for drinking just to drink? Bitch, I was drinking Gatorades like they were like water.
I know. We all did. You're not supposed to drink Gatorade.
Like, I'm really burning.
No, that's for athletes that are actually exercising at the time.
And so you're like just consuming an immense amount of sodium for no reason, and other
guzzling
stuff.
them down.
Yeah, you should, like, so it's really good if you are hungover. Like,
yeah. If you're hungover or if you have diarrhea, it's really good for you.
Yes.
I haven't been hungover in forever, so I blame my white friends for my tolerance being high now. And that's worse too. You ever have your tolerance be high, and then you realize when you're paying for your own drinks, which is also awful. You're like, damn, I'm an expensive bitch. Like I can't. I'm still not feeling it. So they were like, am I an alcoholic or what's going on?
This just happened last week because I went to a baby shower on Saturday and we got back home early. It was like 9:30. Put the kiddo to sleep and whatever. And Rob was like, you want to watch movies and drink? And we're like, yeah. So we almost killed like half a bottle of 1/7 of a rum bottle and an horchata liquor mixer. Like we were cutting alcohol with alcohol and just drinking it on ice.
Oh, y'all some gangsters though.
We
That's
gangsta up
crazy.
in here. And then I was on like my second like full pint glass and I looked at Rob. I was like, I can't feel anything. I meant like I'm not buzzing. I'm not.
I hate it.
And then he just goes, drink a little faster. Like
you gotta hold your breath and lay on your left side. And then like turn your head this way and then you'll feel it faster. I'm telling you.
Yeah, because when you lay on your left side, because when you have indigestion, it makes it go away. It's because it keeps pushing it down to your tummy. So if you have if you have heartburn,
facts from CJ.
If you have heartburn, shut up. If you have heartburn or indigestion, lay on your left hand side and it'll like soothe it if you don't have any Tums or something laying around. Like
you know what I use for that?
What?
I use vinegar.
Oh yeah, that works too. Mm-hmm. That works too.
Vinegar didn't smell so fucking disgusting. I'd use it.
I use it in my food so much that I can just like drink it up. Like
I put it in my greens.
I try to get into apple cider vinegar because I was reading about the health properties of that too.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, it just smells like ass. I can't.
If you mix it with actual real apple cider, it's really not bad. You knock it back pretty quick.
Or just honey and lemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll try it.
You should, and just add a little water to it. Make it into like a drink instead of taking like a shot of it. It'll be easier on the tongue and the back of your throat.
The back of your damn throat. That's so fun.
I'm always down for something that's easier for the back of my throat. I appreciate it.
You know what? I'm gonna just sip on my little cocoa. I do have
questions since we're on our little health kicks.
Yes.
I really didn't like have a lot of health talks with my parents.
Yeah.
I don't think we ate like shit. Like my mom was always about not so much clearing your plate, but she's like, if you don't do nothing else, eat your vegetables. That was kind of like
yeah.
We never had sweets on a daily. We would have like a Sunday dinner and then a dessert on that time. But other than that, like if we had something sweet, it was because we had the fruit roll up in our lunch or something like that. It wasn't like my mom was cooking it. So I think because of that, I relapsed hard in my adult life and was like, fuck sugar. Like, I can buy a slice of cake when I want, Mom.
Like, I will eat this whole sleeve of Oreos. Like,
no, I just bought double stuff, like a pack of Oreos. It had been so long, CJ, and I was like, I gotta just eat like 2, and I finished half that fucking pack.
Oh no! You know what's no? That's scary.
Like, it is, and I got sick, so that's when I decided, okay, I'll allow myself some sugar every once in a while. D's gone.
Oh, D disappeared. Oh, here
there
he
is.
No,
because I'll allow myself some sugar every once in a while. But to bring it back to my upbringing, and then the question for you guys is the same. Like, I didn't really have talks about health, or my dad tried to do the exercise. Both my parents are Marines, for those who don't know.
Right.
So he tried to do the PT with us every once in a while. And I was like, fuck you, I'm not doing this shit. But other than that, I didn't hear anything else about my health until after I had a baby. And then my mom was all in her kick of like, okay, wear a corset after your C-section and, you know, watch how you eat and stuff now because your body's going to change and be different. And she'd always push, don't have a lot of weight around your midsection, but that's it.
Oh,
that was like the extent of my health or exercise talk with my parents.
Wow.
So I don't know if it was different for you guys, but I really didn't have shit.
How was yours, D? Like, did they?
I was always an athlete growing up, so it was all about carbs for me. I played football and then I ran track, but my parents supported me more with the football stuff than they did track.
I do remember that.
Really didn't support much anything else besides.
No, no. The dance team was like, "What are you doing?"
Right. I don't think anybody liked that dancing.
Did they?
What's that?
Did you guys have like dinner with like desserts every day? Like, cause
not
like
every
Brandy,
day, no.
no.
But my mom was big on desserts because my mom has a crazy sweet tooth. But growing up, like with her desserts, she would buy like cookies and stuff just to have snacks in the house. But she had like her intimate in her room type shit. I was like, Mom, let me get one of your danishes.
No, mommy's treats are no.
Mood, like when she was in a good mood, she'd be like, all right, you can have like a sliver. But and, you know, all the rest of the time, she's like, nah, there's my intimates. Nah, you can't have it in there. I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, it really wasn't too many sweets going around, but my mom does know how to bake. So holiday season, it was cookies and cakes and pies and all that, but just that time of year, or if it was like your birthday, but nothing too crazy. No. And as far as like finishing the food on the plate, it was the same thing. It was like, you know, eat what you can. Well, she was big on more of don't make your plate too big, because I was, after a certain age, I'll make my own plate. Right. She's like, if you know you're not going to finish it, don't be
wasting my food.
Exactly.
That's me right there. Like, my family, sweet tooth galore. My mom still like, she walks into my kitchen to come get the kiddo, and if she sees brown banana, she's like, so it's about time you made those banana breads. Like, I shit you not. She'd be like, you making some banana bread? Like, or there's always something baked or something, you know, sweet. There was always something baked in my house because my dad was a baker. So there was either cookies, cakes, something. And then like he gave us this habit of eating food, especially dinner, and then having like a small dessert, like a little cup of ice cream, a little scoop of ice cream, a piece of cake. Like it just kept going on and on and on. And yeah,
I love it.
Me too. I'm like, it sounds like my.
I mean,
so here's the thing though. So that was our like indulgence, because at home we didn't, our drinking calorie was very low. We only had water, the tea that my mom made from scratch, like in like bottles, like sun tea, you know what I mean? And that was really it. Like if we had soda, it was because we had like a party and we had some, like we got some Welch's strawberry and grape. Like, this is the best fucking
sodas were not big in the house.
Yeah, because we didn't have sodas in the house.
They were big in mine.
Was it? See,
yeah, I forgot about that. That was one thing. Soda and juice was a big thing. Kool-Aid, that's some trifling ass shit. I don't know who came up with that concept of drinking sugar water.
Kool-Aid is the worst. Listen, they try to kill black people.
Drinking sugar water.
That's all it is. Sugar water with chemical coloring in it.
I used to hate making Kool-Aid. I was never a big Kool-Aid fan, but my dad loved it. And I just say that's the Philly in him. So I remember before I'd be like, oh, I gotta go to dance practice or I want to go outside. He'd be like, well, make some of the Kool-Aid before you go. And I'm like, why I gotta make it? He used to be like,
because you make the best Kool-Aid.
Yeah, you're the best. There ain't a fucking liar.
Half a pound of sugar.
I am telling my dad right now. Like, if anybody watches the videos I post to him, this is why I verbally abuse my dad now, and I mess with him.
Rude to your dad.
And I make him make me all this stuff now, because he'd always say that, D, you hit the nail on it. You make the best Kool-Aid. No, I don't. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm not even measuring shit.
Parents lie to you so they can make you
They really lying, like making me feel that. But I'm like, I'm like, giving you diabetes, and you're like, you make the best diabetes drink.
Okay. No, seriously, but you know what? That was really it. Oh, but during the holidays, my dad went out, and then we did that whole thing with the children's home, like the handicapped children's home. We volunteered and food. So like my dad he used to take like a week off and make like hundreds of cookies and like 2 or 3 turkeys to take over there. That's aside from the one for the family party. Like and then he would start over again. And so I don't know if that's where I got that from. Like every time I bake, I make food, it's like a ridiculous amount. And like we actually have a little shelf in our house. I've switched it to very healthy snacks for the kiddos, so it's either organic or non-GMO, mostly really low sugar. It's made out of like nuts and seeds and, you know, dried fruit and things like that, instead of like, I don't know, like cookies, like Oreo cookies. I mean, we still indulge once in a blue moon, but ice cream.
It's nice that you got them on the same path. It took me forever to get PJ to kind of like switch and get used to not really having dairy like that, because I noticed as my body started just to have awful reactions to it over the years.
And we're not supposed to consume
that. Basically, she's like, you've always been like kind of lactose, and I'm just like, I never paid attention to it. and then about late 20s. And then now it was just getting worse. I'm like, well, I don't want to just change it for me after learning some more stuff about it or watching like What the Health and all these things that popping up.
Yeah.
Girl, it'll whoever's listening, if you want to enjoy your food, don't watch none of that shit.
Don't watch that shit. That shit'll fuck your whole life.
Have you watched it, 2D?
I watched a portion of it. I couldn't watch the whole thing.
It's really good.
I turned that shit off. I got really sad.
I'm about to watch Rotten. I'm gonna go watch Rotten, and I'm gonna watch this other one. I gotta figure out. Yeah.
Rotten is good. I watched that with PJ, and and ever since then, he's been like a stickler about, we don't have cereal like that in the house no more.
Oh,
unless it's like, well, yeah, he's like very on it more so than what he's ever been. And it's almost like these documentaries have scared him straight. And he'll still have his like shit food every once in a while. But I like that I've noticed if he sees me exercising or me taking better care of myself, because kids are going to pay attention to what they see you doing, not what you say. Yeah. So I like that because he sees those changes, he's making better choices for himself, even when I'm not around, because I'll still sneak and look at his lunch account because I can see what he buys and shit.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, he got an apple or he got this or whatever. So it's nice to see those changes go across because as our stories were all shared, we didn't really grow up knowing as much as we do now and having the opportunity to take better care of our bodies, which also brings up the discussion, which I know we all are probably going to agree on this. It's drastically different what's available based off the neighborhood you live in and all that shit. And then even how this society will make it real easy for you to get a full for foe. But I can't go to Trader Joe's and get all the organic shit that I want because it costs an arm and a leg.
Zoning.
So they call that the food desert, right?
Yeah.
And this is a real thing. I don't know if people recognize or realize this is happening all over our nation. There's pockets in our society, in our communities, where they will not bring healthy, like, markets, healthy food. Like, so I don't know if you notice, if you go to a richer, more wealthy neighborhood, their fast food is different. They have Zoe's Kitchen, Panera Bread, all those guys, right? Or like even the pizza places like Mod Pizza where they make it from scratch.
Oh, they have Zoop. Zoop is a nice little soup place.
Yep, they have stuff like that. And then you go to the food desert neighborhood and it's always Burger King, McDonald's, your classic fast food with gross stuff made out of nothing fresh kind of deal. Like, the best one out there probably going to be Wendy's. Like, it's a real, like, epidemic, because then what do you do? Because it's a food desert, you can't travel every week 45 minutes to go to another city just to get groceries. And I mean, sometimes I do for my Asian food because I love my Asian food. I have to go to Plano to get that. But, like, that's a lot of commitment, especially for people who may not have, because if you live in a food desert, more than likely you're below or at poverty line too financially. You know what I mean? So that means that not only are you unable to afford to travel to get better food, you probably couldn't afford to get better food even if it existed there, which is why it like compounds and it keeps going. So nothing better happens there.
It's a really vicious cycle.
Unless it gets gentrified. That's the only time.
Then good luck.
Then what happens is everybody starts moving out because the housing taxes rise. So if you own a home there, or even rent starts rising higher, so then you do have to move. And then people are going from one food desert to another one, even though their area got better shit. They can't afford that.
That didn't mean you're getting your better shit. Your old home is. I got to see that firsthand on a huge scale when I went to certain pockets in Brooklyn. The few times I went to New York, it was fucking crazy to see Brooklyn for what I'm sure was like Spike Lee's Brooklyn, because there's still pockets of that there, and then to literally turn the corner 2 blocks up and see, Brenda and Chad walking their collies. Because
fucking hipsters everywhere in Brooklyn.
I was like, yo.
Seriously?
Yes.
It was literally a block. Like, I walked probably 10 brownstones down. And it was a whole new world. Sorry, sorry, Disney, I don't own shit.
Yes, I'm gonna have to cut that shit.
I got you.
Disclaimer.
It was completely different. And then we go back to actually where we're staying, the Airbnb, which was bomb.
Right.
But I'm like, wow, like so different with the food that was available.
Right.
And the grocery stores, the stores, period, the mom and pops, everything was different. So I know that is like a psychological mind fuck for people that do want to eat better and have better resources even for their exercise. Because if I live in that type of neighborhood, do you think I'm going to be walking around or running around in my neighborhood?
No,
and then what's going down in the park? I'm not going to be able to exercise in no damn park.
No, especially if you're a female by yourself.
Drugs, needles, whatever. Yeah, hell no. And it's like, y'all don't want those people to get healthy. You want them or us to kill ourselves off.
That's exactly what it is. Like,
we're no sugarcoating here in the triangle, folks.
That's why they don't tell us everything that's in our food either. You guys know that? Don't. You know that? Like, so
or the fluoride, they're pumping in water and other bullshit.
Listen, like, and it's not just like the documentary stuff that you see. Like, you can actually go to the labels on your food. Do you guys read your food labels? I started, I used to already, but I really started after watching What the Health. Like, really started.
As vain as this sounds, you know what got me reading food labels? I started reading more about what was in my makeup, and then I was like, if this is going in my face,
it's still going through your body.
In my body. So I started reading more on the food when I started reading more about the makeup.
It's amazing. You know, when they put things like fragrance on there or like the colors on there, they don't have to tell you what it is made out of.
Oh my God. That's the weirdest part. Natural flavors too.
Natural flavors sometimes come from bug intestines and they don't tell you that shit. Like, and I'm sure it's harmless to the body, whatever amount that you get, but still, over time, they're saying
I'd rather have bug intestines than that chemical shit.
That's true. Like Red 40. Like, do you remember do you remember Randall D from the J? So he was allergic to Red 40. Like he had to stop drinking Big Red. He couldn't have his like spicy chips, and once in a while he would, and then he'd be in the bathroom all day. Like you really can't do that to your body. Like I when I first started dating Rob, they were still eating all that, like the kids candy, the really red ones. They had the same shit in there, and I was like, Rob, you gotta stop feeding your kid this. Like they can't.
I had to get PJ off the fire hot Cheetos because I ain't gonna lie, I love them shit too.
Oh, so good. Like once in a while, I'm like, do I want some? Do I want some?
Girl. And it's the hot fries. Because I like the regular Cheetos, but it's the hot Cheeto fries
that's what's up. Yeah. I like those.
They're so good. But I was also like, I heard about these shits like eating through people's stomachs.
Oh yeah. So my daughter's friend, she what is it? Taquitos, the flaming hot ones.
Mm-hmm.
So Takis, thank you. My daughter's friend loved them, so she would eat a small bag every day. They took her to the hospital because she gave herself an ulcer from eating that shit.
Girl.
So like if you got kids who eat this stuff, you really need to monitor how much of it they're eating. They really should be eating more than like once a month if they want to. Like it should be like a treat. Like I rarely eat them. We have them in the house, but like it stays put pretty much because
I don't think you don't have control over that as a parent because
you do.
And this is going to go into like a lot of other stuff too I won't get into, but it's like you have more control because they're living with you. They can only eat what the fuck is in the house.
Yep.
And if you just take the time, even if you take 10 minutes a day, because I know it can be daunting to like write out a list of what you could get, or most of us are living paycheck to paycheck, so maybe you can't afford to go to a Whole Foods store and really ball out like you want. But even making smaller, subtle changes like getting your turkey ground beef instead of what you normally get, or just switching it out like that. These are still things you can find at Walmart or Sam's Club or wherever, but it does make a difference in how you feel and how your kids are going to feel too. Because those healthy eating habits are important.
Like, I can't tell you how much my skin is better that I cut out so much dairy. Like, and the weird thing is that nobody noticed that I was probably lactose intolerant. Like, I remember being in kindergarten and eating cereal in the morning, walking to my bus stop and throwing up on the way there. And it was only when I ate cereal. So I would turn around and go home and be like, Mommy, I just threw up. Like, stop feeding me milk, Mom. Like, so.
I was thinking about your face.
You're like, nah. No, And so like now that I've switched over to a lot of a lot of plant-based and non-meat, non-dairy stuff, more vegan stuff. And I stopped drinking regular milk at Starbucks too, because you can ask for coconut milk or almond milk there.
Yeah.
I stopped, my tummy stopped turning, like, because Starbucks, it was so good. I didn't ever stop drinking it. But then every time I would drink it, I was like, oh my God, my stomach hurts so bad. Like, so I was probably I probably am lactose intolerant, but especially with liquids. It's not so bad with cheese. It's the liquid milk and stuff
Well,
like that.
you know what? Because I think the term lactose intolerant, they make it seem like it's something wrong with you. No, ain't nothing wrong with your adult ass. Your adult ass don't need to be consuming no milk. Milk is for babies. And then
now milk is for babies.
You know what I'm saying? Then on top of milk being for babies, you're not even drinking human milk. You're drinking milk from a fucking bovine.
Right.
Like
it don't even belong to you.
Cow. Like a big cow. It's fucking weird. So I can see like cheeses and like butters because it's been processed. It's a little bit different. Or if you're using it as cooking ingredient, I see it a little bit different.
Never gonna leave butter alone.
Drinking that shit hot out the tea. That's some weird shit.
Not hot out
the tea. Never hot out the tea.
Just
it's never sat well with me since I was a kid. I remember getting into it with my stepdad over that shit. That's fucking gross.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But no, what did you say about butter? Vegan butter is really good. I'll tell you what. Like,
I gotta try it.
I'll tell you what, Hank Hill. Like, I've been saying that all day. I don't know why. But no, seriously, I'm gonna have to get y'all a list because I use vegan cheeses, vegan butter, vegan milk, vegan everything. I just found a new vegan sour cream, and we're gonna try it out tomorrow because I'm making chili. So I'll let you know how that goes.
My friend Dorinda, she left some vegan butter here because she's really good about eating like that. So anytime she comes here, because I think she came here twice to do like cosplay shit with me. So I took her to the store and she left like some stuff that she couldn't take with her. So I was eating it. I was like, you know what? This butter was not half bad. And when I can purposely remember to get that kind instead of whatever else I would get, I get that instead. It still tastes good.
Yeah, the Earth Balance one that I get tastes just like regular butter to me. I just bought Miyoko's butter. Theirs is fancy. It's like
I've seen that.
It was on sale. That's the only reason why I got it, because usually it's like $6 for like a little ass box, but it was like $3. I said, okay, we'll try you out. Like, so I'm gonna test that out tomorrow on the little toast too. Let you know.
Nice.
Let you know how it is. But like seriously, like you really don't have to have all that meat and like dairy to survive. We've been doing this over a year now. And I mean, if my big boy can handle it, I think
it's a hard transition. The first time I had like an organic apple, like a true real apple,
so
I was
changed your fucking life, didn't it?
First of all, here's what it did. It was a turn off for me because I didn't realize how much bullshit my taste buds were used to.
Yep.
What?
When
you didn't like it?
I did not. I was like, this tastes like applesauce. What the fuck am I eating? Because it was just
real
different
food.
biting into it. It was right. It's real food. But even when you still do consume meat like I do, and there's a difference between the meat that is like from a well taken care of animal.
Oh,
from start to finish, how they care for it, what they feed it, where it's roaming around, all that shit, to just some bullshit that they don't like. You'll even be able to look at cuts of meat and be like, this ain't. So it's different for your taste buds. So for anybody that is transitioning a little bit at a time, don't be completely thrown off when you taste something that is actually the real shit. You're probably not going to like it right away. I was a person that did not like a lot of stuff because my body and taste buds were just
used to it.
The yellow 5 and the shit that wasn't good for me. But I pushed through it. So now I'm used to, my the cashew milk and some other stuff that I never thought I would like.
You need
and
oat
now
milk
I love.
too. That's really
I
good.
cannot go back to quote unquote real milk. I can't. It's gross. Like Dee said, no sucking the cow tit.
No, but growing up for me,
please watch what we did on YouTube if you weren't watching. Please,
if you weren't watching that, everybody was sucking from imaginary teeth. It was great. But
we all got quiet so we could suck on imaginary titties.
I'm sorry. We're sorry, Dee. Go ahead.
No, it's cool. But from I guess my perspective with organic fruits, especially because I grew up in Southern California first before I ended up moving around everywhere else.
Right.
And everybody had fruit trees where I lived. So we had a peach tree and 2 apricot trees, and we had strawberry plants, and then my grandma grew tomatoes and greens and everything else.
That's a whole ass farm.
Yeah. Then our neighbors had lemon trees, they had cucumbers, they had everything else. So I was used to tasting stuff like that. So when I would, taste store-bought stuff in the grocery store, especially after we moved to the East Coast, it tasted really weird. I was like, oh, I want an apricot, because I used to love apricots. And I was like, what the fuck is this? It tastes like water.
That's what I was going to say. When I went back to eating organic here, it tasted like the food I used to eat in Okinawa. Even the meat. I was like, hold up. So how much chemicals are they actually using here? Because you realize the organic stuff tastes like the ones in Japan for me, because in Japan, more than half the chemicals they are allowed to use here is banned in Japan and Europe and all these other places. That's what it is. Like,
if it's banned, why are they trying to kill us?
It's not banned in the US.
Money.
It's only
banned on the medications.
So I just told my son that. I was like, man, these people make more when you're fucking sick all the time than
that's
they
why
do.
You gotta. This is why they arrest people when they find cures, because you're not allowed to cure anything.
Yeah, you're not allowed to cure nothing. Medications are not supposed to cure you. Medications only treat symptoms. That's it. And you better be prescribed by a doctor who come and take your shit.
Damn, D.
It's a controlled substance.
Can I just say one thing? I know, like, some of y'all are listening, but D looked like that scene from The Office where they do the one-on-one with the blind in the back in the office. Do you know what when they talk to each person themselves?
I know what you're talking about. That's funny as shit, because he did. He meant that.
That's just funny.
He's right.
I'm sorry. But no, seriously, like, if you can, organic fruits and vegetables are better. There's actually like a list called like the Dirty 20 and the Clean 20 or some shit like that you can Google. I can't remember off the top of my head, but for example, if you can't afford to do organic fruits and vegetables, if you look up the Dirty 20, it'll be like strawberries, blueberries, anything with really thin like outside skin or something that you can bite into. They prefer you to get organic, and that way you don't have chemicals that seep into the fruit. And then on the Clean 20, it'll be like avocados, bananas and stuff. They'll be like, it's preferred that you get organic, but if you can't, it's not so bad, because the skin on the outside of the fruit is thick enough that it keeps a lot of the chemicals out from the meat of the fruit. You know what I mean? So even if you can't afford everything to be organic, at least try that, or at least get non-GMO.
Yeah,
that's my other rule that I have, is if I can't find it in organic, get non-GMO, because here's the thing. These companies, like, you know how I said I started reading labels? Campbell's, for example, McCormick, all those guys make other like under brands, sister brands and stuff. So they come from the same factory. And at the very bottom, after the ingredients, after the phone number, there's a disclaimer that says something along the lines of, some ingredients, like, for example, the corn or the canola, are made from GMO products. Check out our website to learn more about it, because they're trying to say GMO is not all that bad. I was like, I understand what they're saying, but you really have to be careful, because they don't really give you like a full-on explanation of which part of their shit is GMO. You know what I mean? And then you keep consuming it and you keep consuming it, and then it fucks with your body. Like, it alters it.
It's like I noticed that I forget which one of those documentaries I watched on Netflix, but they're basically saying that a brand could put something out there and say it's natural just because it has a natural ingredient, but it doesn't mean it's all natural. And I was like, man, you could really legally wordplay like that.
Yes. So like same thing with organic. Technically, if it's, I believe 90% organic, they can put the organic label on it. They can have 10% non-organic materials in it. Look at Brandy face. She was like, wait a minute, so I gotta read?
Right. I'm like, first of all, I'm already annoyed with having to pay more attention to taking care of myself. How dare I?
Grocery shopping is so much longer now.
It is. And I get why people think about all the rest of the stuff people deal with on a daily, let alone taking the time to be like, okay, let's really make this grocery list right. Let's really read labels. It's a commitment. It's another lifestyle change. It takes more energy. I know it's worth it in the end. It's one of those things where you do the kind of like short-term sacrifice for the long-term benefit.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's what's got me into it, being more consistent after it started being really fucking annoying. So I'm like, I just want to throw all this ramen in the cart and leave.
No.
Like, I don't like, give me all this sodium.
No, I mean, here's the thing. Everything in like, you know, small portions, like ramen, we'll do ramen too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not terrible if you don't eat it every day. That's the problem.
Yeah. And that's what I'm trying not to do, because we haven't had like ramen all the time in a while. But again, most people are living, and I know there's levels to it, but most people are living paycheck to paycheck on many different levels. So sometimes all you can afford is the ramen, some hot dogs, and the cereal. So I've been trying to do things. And as I come up with stuff, I'll share my list with people on our Triangle pages. But as I'm coming up with stuff and you realize, all right, I got $60 to spend on groceries until the next paycheck. What the fuck can I buy? So we have breakfast, some snacks, and dinner. And you have to become really creative and purposely open up yourself to different things to eat. Like we're really into salads, which helps out a lot because you can chop up your cucumber, your red onion. It's just not that much. And then if you want some different flavors, you play around with how you make your own dressing, because they have little packets for that. So you're not consuming the calories you're trying to avoid through some of the shitty salad dressings. So that helps cut, you know,
ranch
calories.
No, it's the worst.
Of course, ranch.
It's the worst.
It's my favorite dressing.
Of course.
Of course it is. I don't know. I make my own a lot too. You know, you can make 0-calorie dressing. You know that exists.
With what? Vinegar?
Vinegar,
with
mustard.
Air.
Not air, no. Vinegar, mustard. Yellow mustard has virtually no calories. Neither does
they
vinegar.
Put the salad in a bowl and they throw the salt and pepper in the air and just catch it. And it's
like, someone pour on the mustard like this on top?
No, you make an actual dressing out of it. It's really good. I will share the recipe later.
Yes,
like,
share it on
It's
our
almost
page.
like a vinaigrette without the oil. Like, it's really good.
Oh.
And then those of you that are consistent with listening to us, or if you're brand new and this is your first episode, feel free to share any tips and tricks for the trade you have with anything you do as far as really anything health shit. We're open to it all. I know we've been talking about a lot of food and exercise and things like that, but we're into our spiritual and mental health too. So whatever you have that you want to share, we're all good and open here with it. So please do.
I agree. You know what I did want to touch on, since we're talking about the health thing? You know, a lot of people always talk about how diseases are passed on. You know, there's a new study that says diseases are not really passed on. Habits are passed on. So like generational diseases come from generational food habits is what they're saying. That totally
makes fucking sense.
Right? So for example, like on my mother's side, a lot of people have heart disease. And for a while, I was taking high blood pressure medication. You know what I mean? It was like probably my food combined with the stresses of my last job and things like that. And I used to get heart palpitations and crazy shit like that. You know what I mean? So that's also another reason why. So I'm off that medication. I took myself off of it. There's nothing wrong with me now because I changed the way I eat. Like, I'm still chubby because I like my chocolate cakes and stuff. But
I enjoy that pose. Can we all just do this so I can have a good screenshot? Just the chubs.
Oh my God, I can't. Radio silence. Sorry, guys. No, so seriously, like, so I don't eat as much red meat anymore, right? Like, it was really funny because I was grocery shopping last Friday. And the girl at Sprouts was like, "Oh, are you vegan?" Because it was like all vegan stuff that I buy there. And I was like, "No, we consider ourselves flexitarian. We usually eat plant-based." And then I was like, "But tonight I'm eating Whataburgers because I'm not cooking because I just did 8 hours of grocery shopping." You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay to do that, but like, it's definitely cut back from eating it like every 3 days. Because I feel like when you're younger too, like, you're like, ooh, like you had like a burger from Burger King on Monday, and then like Wednesday night, you're like, I can go to Wendy's. And then like Saturday morning.
Why did you skip Tuesday? I was eating shit like every day.
I said a few days. I mean, you probably had a burger.
I was red meat heavy in my 20s. Like when I left my parents' house, my mom wasn't playing that fast food shit. She was definitely like a cooker at the house. And it wasn't like there was meat added to whatever we ate every day, but meat may not have been like the main staple.
Gotcha.
So she was really, really good about that. But I don't know if I was just tired of the shit or what happened. But in my 20s, I'm like, yo, I'm just going to eat red meat. Like when my
that's so bad.
Omaha steaks, girl.
Oh, no.
I would have a New York strip on a Monday, a T-bone on a Tuesday. T-bone Tuesday.
That's a lot. I mean, like.
I was red meat heavy. I'm like, I don't even want to see my insides or what damage I've done in the last 10 years.
But you can reverse it. Just stop eating it.
Well, that's the good thing about it. 'Cause I was talking to PJ yesterday. Whoever's listening, PJ is my son. And I was telling him about what you just said about the passed down habits. Because I believe that when people talk about generational versus spiritual stuff and what have you. So it's important to understand that from both sides of your family, son. And also understand it from a health aspect too. Because I've been avoiding getting checked out for a while because I'm a bit. Yes. I told myself at the beginning of the year, I'm going to stop being a little scaredy cat. And I don't have anything wrong with me, but I do need to go get checked out. Need to get titties checked. Need to have them all up in my cervix. Somebody need to be all up in my cervix.
I hate that shit. That like that's the most awkward.
Shut up, D. Might as well have it be the doctor. But I'm like, I know cancer and a whole bunch of other crazy shit run heavy on my dad's side of the family. I know who's been taking out the game for it and who hasn't.
But you know what? That's because cancer cells have a tendency to react to the food that you consume. And that's why it keeps happening on the same side of the family. And so that's what I mean.
They weren't changing what they were eating. So I'm like, okay, I need to break this whole kind of like bad cycle that we'll have, especially in the communities of color for various reasons. I'm not completely blaming it all on Big Mom and them because I realize why a lot of that stuff happens psychologically too. But now that we know better, it's up to us to do better. And I'm like, I don't want something that's preventable to take me out the game if it doesn't have to. And I definitely want my son to live a long, happy life as long as he has that part in his control. So I'm like, we might as well make sure we're keeping up with our bodies and watching what we put in. Whether it's food or people, watch what you put in.
Watch what you put in.
Yeah, that's why it's so important. Like with Thanksgiving around the corner in a few weeks here and people getting ready to like eat up all the things, you really have to be careful. Because that can
not eat up all the things.
No, seriously. So, like, even if all the things, because if you were watching what you were eating, for example, like how we watching what we eating, and all of a sudden we have like 3 slices of pie and cookies, and it jumpstarts what we had left behind, and your body goes right back to the addictiveness of sugar.
It really does.
It really does. So you have to be careful. Of what you consume or how much you consume. Like you can consume it.
A friend of mine was doing good for like 90 days, and I'll never forget the day she told me she had a piece of birthday cake at her son's birthday, and it was a wrap. And she ain't been back on track. It was a wrap, son. She ain't been all the way back on track since, and that's been years ago. And I'm like, oh my God. It really is that.
It happens though. You ever be just sitting there and be like, I just want a couple of like Hershey's Kisses, and then you halfway down with the bag? That's what happens. You just,
you know what happened to me recently?
What?
Oh shit. Reese's came out with a fucking little dark chocolate peanut butter cups, the thin ones.
Oh no.
And I put them motherfuckers in the freezer, my nigga.
Oh my God. Them in the freezer though. In the freezer, though, they're so good.
Did you eat the whole thing?
The whole bag was gone.
The whole bag?
Hours. In 24 hours.
No, they're really good when you freeze them. They're really good.
I'm a Reese's Pieces girl, not a Reese's Cup girl, so I don't have to worry about that.
Reese's Pieces is good, but the cups you gotta try the thin ones.
You're not a cup girl?
I'm not a cup girl.
How are you not a cup girl?
Well, you know. Isn't that crazy?
What the fuck is going on?
If it wasn't some booby entertainment, that was the part of it. tits.
We're excited. I'm excited about us shaking our big tits right now because they're super big because CJ and I have an announcement. We are synced up on our periods.
It's not an announcement. I don't know. I just want somebody to explain if it's a mental connection that we have that made it happen because we do not live near each other. Because, you know, scientifically it's proven that hormones exchange. If you hang out with another female long enough, you guys sync up. But this bitch is in Ohio. I'm in Texas.
Not this bitch.
I don't know. Now, if D come back and tell us that his period is synced up too, I don't know what to say.
Be like, y'all, guess what?
Well, you know.
I have a period until I started fucking with y'all.
Oh my God.
No, I got my first one.
Because of the triangle. Oh my God. And then we can be sponsored by like Maxi Pad Company or something.
I would like 7th generation because they make chlorine-free ones.
Nice. I'm not really into like.
Since we talking about health anyway, y'all, me and my family just switched our pads, liners and pads. There, we went to 7th generation, and
7th heaven, you took it back.
I did. 7th heaven.
I'm talking about the club.
There we go. We don't own it.
We don't own it.
I'm talking about the club. Remember? At the end of the street, at the end of Gate 2 Street.
Yes. Oh my God. No, so like, yes, D, if you didn't know, female tampons and like pads have chlorine in it. They use chlorine and stuff to bleach the pads and the cotton in it. So what they've been figuring out is part of those chemicals go up our vajayjays and cause some issues. And sometimes
why do they bleach it?
To make it white.
Why does it have to be white if it's going to be in the inside of your drawers?
White is right.
Oh, no, shut I'm not
what kind
sure.
Of question was that?
I'm not sure what it is. I mean, I haven't like looked into it.
On your pussy, not
what
me.
difference does it make?
Well, probably
like
because it's like tissue paper. I guess it needs to be white so you can see what you're blowing into.
So
no, and now that I think about it, tissue paper is white. I'm sick of this shit. Now I'm not.
But no, so like it's crazy that I have to pay extra money to get chlorine-free, chemical-free pads for my kiddo. And
it's crazy that we have to pay for pads, period.
Plus tax. Plus tax.
Like, that's what the real bullshit is. Like, you think I want to stick this shit up my pussy every couple weeks?
You think the fucking panty liner with my period panties is fun for me?
This
no.
shit is not fun. I don't even do tampons.
D's like, I don't know, but I know it's not fun. Look at his face.
And D's like...
We sorry, D. We both on our periods. We can't help it.
I was just excited to announce that we had.
She said we have an announcement.
CJ hates it, and I'm very much enjoying it.
I see that. That's why I'm drinking hot cocoa tonight. I was like, I need some chocolate soup to make myself feel better. That's what
I am drinking lukewarm water because I heard it's better for my organs. So
I mean, I have water. I drink
room temperature.
This is my favorite right now.
Essentia. I like that.
Good stuff. You guys, water is really important for your body too. Like to get good water. I like, you know how like you get green onions or whatever from the store and you're like, I'm gonna grow some more for free, right? So I've been using tap water for the longest. Well, it died out on me really fast one day and I was like, I'm going to try to grow the mints and this that I got from the store with my distilled water. Not this Essentia, but I get a cheaper version of smaller bottles too. Kroger brand, by the way. They grow, you guys, like if you use bottled water instead of tap water, which means you should not be drinking tap water straight out of the fucking tap.
How much chlorine they put in that shit?
That's what I'm saying. The plants were not growing. I had another plant my mom got me last, I think either Mother's Day or Valentine's or something for me. And it was the same height. It was only like 4 or 5 inches tall for the longest, like for months and months and months. And since I switched it to distilled bottled water along with the other plants on my little thing, it's like this tall. I'm talking like 1.5 feet now in my window. Like within a few months. And I'm just like, we should not be like consuming anything tap. If I have to make soup, I don't even use the faucet water. I know it boils, but I go to my fridge or my pitcher with the filter in it.
Oh God, I love those pitchers.
Yeah. The Brita filters. Yeah. I use water from that to make my soups. If we're going to consume it, it needs to be filtered because this is bullshit. The fact that
filtered water, like
The fact that the plants won't grow with tap water, but it would with the bottled water.
And it has all that fucking fluoride in it too. Yes. I understand fluoride is good for your teeth. That's why we use fucking mouthwash.
It's not, D. They found out. D, that was a lie. Fluoride doesn't do anything for your teeth.
Why are they putting water in it?
It calcifies your pineal gland.
So now, no, I'm going to use that shot instead because we were all like, I'm using that shot instead.
Seriously, you guys. If you guys think that
you can't say shit like that and not break it down.
If you think that fluoride does anything to your teeth, please go Google it for yourself and don't just listen to CJ the know-it-all. There's some studies that it's been done by different sources, and they've concluded that fluoride does not do anything but calcify parts of your body. That's all it does. And mainly your pineal gland gets calcified, which is one of the biggest glands in your brain that helps you with cognitive stuff that are like, I guess, unconscious stuff is what it helps with. Like, it's basically called your third eye. They try to calcify that shit. Tell me they ain't trying to do something to us.
I'm telling you, I believe that because I told you, I do not feel like most of us are operating using our full big ass brains like they used to back in the day to communicate with whatever or whoever they could with what they left behind. I feel like that's why there's so much out there we can't figure out. And it's like, because we're fucking stupid now in comparison to how open they were then.
I'm telling you, this is going to sound crazy because CJ sound crazy anyway, but I don't really care because it's the triangle. Ever since I stopped using fluoride and stopped doing certain waters, stopped eating certain foods, I have a better discernment of the things that go around me than I have ever had.
That's not crazy.
I'm just telling you.
That's not crazy at all. Because if you think about how they'll train athletes to stay away from certain foods and drinks, even some people that abstain from sex before a game because they want to clear
you're supposed to do that if you're a male, especially.
There's no, that doesn't mean you're crazy. No. Like, that makes sense.
Yeah, the fact that things happen in my brain first and then I see it happen, that like the connection between the two has grown in the last 2 years or so. Like, I can't back it up with anything, obviously, other than, me telling you these things, but like.
But we believe you.
Thank you. And if you're listening, you could just like, she look at her throwing up the triangle.
We believe you.
But like, you can do the research yourself too, and there's lots of different things out there from different sources that you can look up, and really, like, if you can help it, even I was telling somebody, I can't remember if it was Rob or not, but there's brands like Tom's that are supposed to be really good for you, but if you actually look at their shit, they still use fluoride too. There's only like select companies that got rid of fluoride in their toothpaste or their mouthwash.
I mess with one called Happy. Happy, I use theirs. They don't have any fluoride.
I use Desert Essence. That's from Sprouts too, I believe. But Desert Essence. I quit using regular deodorant. I'm gonna need to put everybody on this. The man-made aluminum stuff that keeps you from smelling, especially women, Brandy, they cause cancer. Breast cancer. And as a matter of fact, when you get breast cancer or is diagnosed with something like a lump in your breast, the doctors tell you to switch to a all-natural deodorant. So if that doesn't say something,
well, they be knowing.
I just talked to somebody, a random lady at Town Talk. I was at another grocery store, and the lady was looking at these deodorants, and she was like, do you know anything about them? And she literally had just finished chemotherapy, and she was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she said that her doctor told her to switch to something natural. And I was like, well, you need to use crystal then, because that's a natural aluminum mineral and not man-made. The crystal deodorant?
Yeah, it was a part of like this little cute birthday basket thing she did for me. And I was like, oh, look at these little packets. And she's like, yeah, she'll switch over and be into that. She likes the crystals and the oils. She'll switch around like a lot of stuff. And then if she really likes it and it works on her, she'll give it to me. My skin will have really weird reactions to things, especially since I started changing how I eat. Even like the Versacolor shit on my face, like my skin is going crazy. And another friend of mine said, between the exercise and me not drinking as much and trying to watch what I eat. She's like, your body can start having what seems like bad reactions, but it's actually everything trying to get out of your system.
It's just detoxing. That's all it's doing.
I never thought about that.
And so like you might like the first year or so get a lot of like pimples or things like that. It's like when I quit smoking, because I used to smoke, y'all, like heavy.
Oh, me too.
Remember, D? We were smokers. What were we thinking?
Smokers. Heavy. I would smoke like a pack and a half a day.
Me too. We like on a bad day. It was
smokers.
It was like Texas had nothing but smokers. Same thing with Nebraska.
I need to see y'all lungs.
Like, it's better now.
It should be better now, but it's been 5 years for me.
It's just about. I quit when I got pregnant. I had one last cigarette in the parking lot after the doctor told me I had a baby.
You were like,
I was like, hold on, let me have this one last one.
Fucking
oh shit, because I went a whole trimester not knowing that I was pregnant, so I was drinking, smoking, all of that. Like,
this why she like that.
Yeah, it's just sassy as fuck, just like her.
So I had quit already when I ran into you at the airport that time.
You had
random as fuck.
Too. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah,
but like it's just like smoking. When I quit, did you break out too, D? Because my body was breaking out. Like I broke out like hard.
No, I had anxiety really bad at first. Not anxiety, like panic attacks.
No. It's just because you just want something. You just want something.
Can you say that again, D? What was you like?
I'm just gonna clip that and put it on our IG. For real. But no, for real. Like if you quit any bad habits, y'all, like you're gonna have withdrawal and detox like symptoms, and that includes like quitting things like sugar. People get so crazy when they quit sugar.
That includes sugar. That includes dick. It includes. I too be. I'm like,
I mean, I can't stand that.
Oh man,
it's the truth though. Whenever you quit stuff, your body reacts, and they're like, "What the fuck just happened?" Like it wants.
And then the triggers are real because it'll be something little, and you'll be like, "What?"
Like I still have to be careful. As much as I hate the way cigarettes smell now, once in a blue moon when I drink too much, I'm like, damn, I need a cigarette.
Yeah.
Like my brain. And then so I have a vape now with no nicotine. So that's how I stave off. I don't even use my vape that often. It really is when I drink a lot, and then that keeps me going. But like those habits, like for the first few, like 2 years maybe, was when I drank coffee whenever I ate, because cigarette smokers, coffee, eating, about to go to sleep, waking up, like it was
waking
like,
up,
oh god, it was everything. Like
gotta have it,
always.
Not gotta have it.
Yeah, but and then I don't know if you've had this, D. I would wake up from a dream about smoking and taste it in my mouth. Like I could taste it. Yeah, it was like so. And then I like looked it up because I thought I was like losing my mind. So apparently, every few years, your body detoxes the nicotine out of your system.
My God.
So like it's a real thing. It's so crazy. So it goes from the outside in. So it starts with like your skin, like your muscle layer. It's like your first and third year, and then it does your organs, your fifth and 7th year, and 9 to 13 years. So I'm not even in the clear yet. So 9 to 13 years is your bones and bone marrow, stuff like that. So it leaves your system finally. It's because your cells are regenerating. So it takes that long for it to do it. And that is why people start smoking again every few years and not be able to quit all the way. They'll be gone and done for like 7 years. And all of a sudden they pick one back up. And I know it's coming when I have an urge, because I still get urges here and there. And it's the weirdest shit for me.
Those new cells are like, we ain't had this, baby.
Yeah.
Going, boy.
So I'm just glad I quit though, because that shit really is not good for you. Like, and if you have blood pressure problems, heart problems, like I don't even know why.
It's hereditary in my family. Which hereditary, like we talked about earlier, it's all about habits. So that was one habit I'm glad I kicked.
Yeah, it really is. Like everybody in Okinawa, all of my uncles smoked. All of them. Every single one of them. Every single cousin smoked. All of them drink and smoke. Like everybody in Asia does that. I mean, it's just like, cause so here, like, so the crazy thing, like here, the commercial about smoking is like that Truth commercial. They're like 80% of kids have stopped smoking and blah, blah, blah. You know, they talk about stopping smoking, right? In Japan, a lot of the smoking commercials are about cleaning up cigarette butts and keeping the world clean. So they don't talk about stopping smoking. They talk about just being a smoker with really good manners. Like,
yeah, they're like,
it's the weirdest thing. Like, I don't understand it. They don't talk about the health benefits and stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure there's some out there, but just don't smoke. It's not good for you.
It's gross.
It really is. It's
not a good look.
It's not. I was hacking up stuff for a while. Like, just don't.
Me too. I had the hacks. I was hacking up stuff about 2 months after.
Sorry,
yeah.
The hacks.
Sorry. The hacks. It's
crazy.
I'm a hashtag that for this video. The hacks.
Hacks. So I had the hacks so bad. That shit was gross.
I'm so sorry.
The hacks. I mean, no, I know what you mean though, because it would be like nothing. It would not be like dry air or nothing. I'd just be sitting and I just like fucking go into a coughing fit. It was like the crazy. Look at Brandy. Brandy, calm down.
I don't know why that's so funny to me.
The hacks.
Shit.
Man, I feel like D has the best quotes for us to make merch out of.
Why is that funny?
You're gonna be our merch guy. And you know what it is? It's because when he says things, he makes faces. So the two put together, like, so when we do it, it has to be like hashtag the hacks and like D's little face that said it, like right here.
Oh God, D's face is already hella funny when he says stuff. But what doesn't help is that ever since I've been about 6, I've had a case of being goofy as fuck. So it does not take much for me to laugh until I cry because I'm a child.
It's okay.
Just hearing the hacks is funny. And then I've never smoked cigarettes. So
that's good. Don't, girl. Just
I'm not like, I don't get it. Like my mom smoked heavy and then she stopped after 30 plus years. And I was like, you a bad bitch for that.
That's awesome. I started smoking when I was 13. So
I was 14.
See? That shit, Okinawa will do it.
Okinawa vending machine.
Fuck, everybody who's been there. Vending machine. Okinawa, have you drinking with your uncles?
My fucking allowance.
Man, you better say, dude. Let me tell you how when we got off of dance practice, me and Chris used to go to like Family Mart or whatever that the Orion Union store is out gate to get us like a tall boy and a cigarette, like.
They're so cheap over there. It was like, y'all can bolt you in.
Like, yo, like life was real
hard. Yo, you had no idea. We were like 18. Life was hard.
You had no clue. But just thinking these problems, fuck.
Man,
right?
We was just out there like, these damn kids don't listen to us. Fucking.
Yeah.
I told her 3 8 counts. That's what we needed. 3 8 counts. Bitches.
But she went and fucked it all up.
And she fucked it up. I hate them. And then I bet you in that moment, CJ was probably like, I can't wait to be rid of Brandy and D.
And here we are. By the way, this baby shower that I went to was for a girl that used to work for me also. She used to call me boss lady, sir, ma'am. And she did that even after we didn't work with each other anymore. And a few more girls that used to work with me, sir, ma'am. A few more girls that were that used to work for me that I employed were there, and one of them was like, at the end, she goes, CJ, as much as I hated like having you like be so strict with us, like you were like good strict, like a mom boss. I about lost it. I was like every step of the way. I was like a momager, She was like, yeah. Like a momager.
Chris Jenner.
CJ, when I call you, what's the first thing I say?
She goes, hi, Mom. Mom.
I'll be like, Mom,
guess what?
And she'll be like, what do you want? And I'm like, I ain't want nothing.
She did do that a couple weeks ago. She called. She's like, Mom. I was like, what? She was like, nothing. What are you doing? I'm like,
yeah, what are you doing? That's it. What do you want? It's like, Brandy, I'm making bento boxes. I'm like, where am I at?
So fucking Japanese. I'm making bento
so
boxes.
fucking
that's what we call
and she
it.
said it like it was the most American thing ever. Like, I'm making bento boxes.
I mean,
what are
we
you
don't
doing?
even really call it lunches. I'm like, hey, did you bring your bento box back? Like, and it's just a normal conversation in our household. Like, it's so weird because I'm in the middle of Texas with some white dude and our 2 kids.
Not some white dude, Jesus.
I wonder how Rob feels when he like listens to this podcast, because he is very like loyal, and he has listened to every single episode.
Okay.
He has fully.
Come on, Red.
Fully. That's my boy. Fully. And he, like, sometimes he'd be like, man, what Brandy said or what Dee said, and just be home with the whole conversation. I was like, let me tell you what happened after we were done recording.
Just wait till you see this in person. This is gonna be great.
Man, he was like, that shit was crazy. He would be like, that had me rolling at work. Like, he'd be listening to that shit at work. Headphones, of course, because we're not safe for work at all.
No, we're not work appropriate at all.
Not at all. I don't think we're even home appropriate if you got kids. Like,
no.
I just don't think we're appropriate.
Probably. It's because we're all really deep down, we're fucking kids, and we don't want to admit it too often. Like, if I had a choice,
yeah, I was like, I say it.
If I had a choice, look at her. No, for real. If I had a choice, I would not adult. I just would not. Oh, look at see?
Oh my God. I know the dance we're doing at CJ's wedding.
Oh no. Oh no.
Just a good hard air pump.
Oh my God. I'm so afraid for all my other guests. This is gonna be
so much fun.
They're gonna love us.
They're gonna either
whether
love
they
you
like
guys,
it or not, they're gonna love us.
Definitely whether they like it or not.
They're either gonna love you or hate y'all. It's one or the other. I don't know which one. Well, I'm gonna go with love. I feel like it might be love, or hesitant smiles, one or the other.
I feel like people that hate us
look at these.
They do that hard smile.
Oh my God. We off task. Get back.
Speaking of off task.
Yes. Speaking of,
aren't we to an hour? Like, wrap this shit up. It's like,
let's go. So I don't know. We can probably talk a little bit more about it, because I know we were talking about like
what time is it?
It's 11:54 for me. It's been like
I meant like our time.
Like we're at about an hour 15-ish.
Hour 15 minutes. Yeah, we're not too bad.
Wrap it.
Yeah, we need to wrap it up. I just want to make sure, like, I think next week, y'all, we're still doing something about Thanksgiving. I know I just sent it to y'all, so I have it. I have it.
She sounds like a manager.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, next week is gonna be good. We're gonna be talking about like family dynamics during the holidays.
Ooh, yes.
Ooh. So
I hate that shit. I can't wait to talk about it.
If y'all got stories, if you're listening or watching, and if you have some serious Thanksgiving stories, what is it, Thanksgiving clapbacks and shit that happens.
Oh my God, the Thanksgiving clapbacks.
That's gonna be the title. If you have any Thanksgiving clapbacks that you have to go through every fucking year with your aunties, your uncles, or whoever show up, like Auntie Carol, that's married to Uncle Jerome, and we need to figure this out, because I have a few. I don't know if I could talk about it.
I know that's the tricky part. This was like, fuck.
I mean, maybe some of my older stuff I can do. My ex's family I can do.
I was gonna pay my cousin to beat up my Aunt Ernestine, for real.
I'm sorry. What? We gonna have to dive into that.
I will give you $150 if you just smack the shit out of her real quick.
We gonna dive into that. I want to know the
I
backstory.
don't even have the Aunt Ernestine. I don't have it.
I want to know the backstory, because I think
there is no backstory. I just made it up.
There is no backstory.
There's no backstory.
I think it's really important, because I mean, for the way I regard Thanksgiving, and I think that it might be true for y'all, is like, it's not for the whole purpose of celebrating the Thanksgiving, like traditional American Thanksgiving. It's because we have a day off and we're going to eat.
Yeah.
Right. Deal for me. It's kind of like 4th of July. Ours is Juneteenth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we don't support any of the rest of the shit other people do, but it's nice to have the day off and eat some food.
Yeah, I'm down. Like I will make some pies like that, because that's what we did, and we like spent time together. Like for me, it's spending time with your family, because it's a day off, and having good food, and it's all about that. I don't give a shit about pilgrims or nothing. Like
And how they killed up all the Indians.
But we're totally gonna do that when we do our Thanksgiving episode.
Oh, I cannot wait, because that's
can't wait to ruin your holidays. It's gonna be great.
Indigenous people and all of that. The truth about
They're
Thanksgiving.
Going straight Wednesday Addams.
Yeah, because the 25th is the one.
She went in.
Wednesday
Addams went in.
I just posted a few of those. That's one of my favorites, by the way.
I post the same meme every year. I'm like, I love it. They're like the meme goes, it has her speech underneath it, but the top part is like when they ask you to say grace for Thanksgiving. It's like
she just.
And I'm like, yes.
She burned the whole play down with her little friends. I was like, y'all need a comment. But no, for real, like if you guys are watching or listening and y'all got some stories for Thanksgiving clapback or Thanksgiving horror stories or anything in that nature, we would love to hear it.
Or if it's some fresh stuff, we won't put you on blast, but if there's some fresh tea you want to pour for Thanksgiving,
we ain't never gonna use names.
We never gonna use names, but if you want to put your situation on blast, if you like, hey, I don't even want to go to Thanksgiving because Uncle so-and-so got such and such pregnant and we ain't even down with the shit, we will gladly talk about it.
That sounds like a Big Mama situation. What was that?
Maybe
soul food.
We had one because somebody in our family left one person that they already had a kid with, disappeared for a minute. We didn't even know where this nigga was at. Came back with a new bitch and a new kid. And we was like...
Did you say new kid too? Girl, see?
Listen.
See?
And to this day, I still side-eye the situation. Like, you know what? That
so
was
wait,
really
did they stay together and they still show up?
Oh, no. Still together. It's just the dynamics are weird in the sense of you just know when stuff ain't right by the fruit. That's what I say. Look at the situation, you can tell it ain't right. So I think it was one of them things where you thought this was the hot move at the time, especially when you don't want to work at what you got at home for whatever your reasons. That's different for everybody, right?
Yeah, right.
There's a way to handle it. There's a proper way to
get you gotta clean. You gotta cut that shit clean before you move on.
Listen, there's a proper way to leave relationships, marriages, whatever, and then move on to something else. And I feel like when you don't do it right, that shit follows you. That energy follows you, and this shit you got going on ain't gonna be right.
Yeah, you gotta.
But yeah, that was probably one of, and I got a lot of messy situations because black families, am I right? But it was messy.
I got one that involves a pastor, his wife, and my family.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be
said the pastor. You better write that down so we don't forget, because I want to hear all
about
this.
Hear
all about this.
No, we're not going to forget because the deacons and the pastors been cutting up on that.
Oh, they sure have. And then made a video talking about he don't give a fuck about nobody say, nobody say. He did not give a fuck. He was like, I like sucking on that. He did not give a shit. I watched the whole thing. I went and watched the original video too. It was too much for me. I couldn't handle it. I was like,
but then it's like when somebody does react like that, it's like, I'm always going to be here for someone that's like, fuck what you talking about.
Like, you know what? He just wasn't, he wasn't with it. He was like, you know what? Fuck all y'all youngins. Like, I do not give a fuck. I am grown. I'm going to do whatever I want. This had nothing to do with my church. It's just me and my lady. So let me just be fucking great and let me lick some pussy if I want to. That's great.
Oh my God.
Say we let everyone do
that. We let everybody know. That's crazy shit.
I gotta chill. Last video, people were commenting about my lesbian porn for study and stuff. So
the study purposes.
Study.
But she offered that way too smooth and quickly, like perhaps lesbian porn.
That'll help you out. You ain't never watched like Captain Jack Sparrow. I can't. No, y'all never watch porn just to study stuff or got curious?
No. That's not what was. We talked about this before, and we talked about our sex episode, which you can listen to because it's in the archives.
Yes, it's episode 3, and it's one of our favorites.
I want to say it's the most popular video, but
it is. There's got like hundreds of videos.
I've never researched and just been like, all right, let me just look at the women because it's just not mine.
He knows what I'm saying. We used to watch porn together just like to have a good laugh. We would look up like the craziest shit. Him, me, and another friend of ours.
We'd
be drinking. Looking up 2 women is not like something I feel like is a research thing for me or to laugh at, but
the shit we was looking at was something crazy.
Groups for people are funny because I saw a group one time that was like outside of a school bus. It was the dumbest shit. I was like, wow. And I'm always more interested in the cameraman than anything. So I'm like, you really filming this shit, huh?
Like but he getting
that's
paid
your job. You're paid for that.
But see, for me, the lesbian thing is the same thing as two guys, because I've looked up two guys doing it because I got curious. I was like, how does that work? Like, who does what?
I have done that before.
That's what I'm saying.
Seen a guy like riding another guy like a woman would. And I was like, y'all really out here getting down.
Yes, they was. And I was, like it was a learn. That's what I mean. It's the same thing for me. I got curious. I was like, how do two girls do it? How do two dudes do it? How do trans people have sex?
I was not that curious about that, given other conversations and research or whatever you call it. So I wasn't curious about that. I'll look up shit that I have no clue about, but the stuff I have a clue about, I'm like, I don't have a reason to watch that shit.
I guess.
We are off task once again.
We try to end this episode.
But given the porn dynamics, is why I said I just felt like two men were going harder than two women. That's what I felt like. I'm like,
are you sure it just wasn't overacting?
You know what? They are paid. They are paid. Let's keep that in mind.
Like, it's funny. Like, man.
Now I'll have to bother my gay friends. Like, can I watch you guys have sex for research?
Oh my God.
I need to see you work.
No, not in person, bitch. Not in person.
Like this.
With my notebook.
Nah, she's gonna be like,
can I watch you guys?
Can
you just move your leg? Thank you.
Thank you. We're just taking fucking notes and shit. Look at D. Look at D. He under the balls. He's
I'll
under
be
the
just
balls.
like that. So what are we doing right here? What are we doing? What is that? What is that? Just so does that stay there?
Bad.
Okay. Keep going.
I just
stop
moving the nutsack. I know that's what you was doing. I know that's what you was doing.
He was gentle with it too.
Oh my God. Well, you don't want to scare this person. You just gotta like lift it lightly if you're not into. You don't know what they're into.
I definitely remember the first time I hit balls too hard, and it was fucking hilarious. I was like 19, 20, and I was like, what's wrong with you? He was like, my nuts, nigga. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Shut the fuck up. I gotta go, guys.
I know. Okay. So we need to wrap this shit up, you guys. Off task. Anyway, if you are listening, check us out on any of your favorite podcast platforms and hit the subscribe button. If you're watching YouTube, hit the like button, comment, or
hacking.
I can't even think. I can't even talk. My English is going out the door. Hit the notification bell so you get your and subscribe. Please subscribe. That way you get all of our stuff. We drop a new episode every Thursday, 12 Central, every week. We might even up it later. You guys are starting to fuck with us. So on that note, start trying to get everybody out of here. Get from under the nutsacks, y'all. Stop it. We'll talk to y'all later. Have a good night. Be blessed.